Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of Mr. Bell's Math. I am your host, Mr. Bell. I don't really have any guests, so let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about solving percent problems. Our essential question, or what I want you to know by the end of the video, is how do you use percents to solve problems? Let me start by saying there are three parts to a percent problem. Okay, I'm going to say this again. There are three parts to a percent problem. Okay, there's the part, there's the whole, and there's the percent. Okay, so when we're setting it up as a ratio, let me make sure I'm writing here. All right, let me use, I use black. Okay, we're good. So when we set it up as not a ratio but a proportion, it's going to look like a lot of the proportions you've been working with. Okay, you're always going to have the percent, and the percent's always going to be over 100, because percent means, if you remember this from the last video, percent means per 100. And then you're going to have the part, and then you're going to have the whole. Okay, and it's always going to be set up like that. Okay, always going to be set up. Part's on top, the percent's on the top over the 100, and then the part is on top, corresponds with the percent, and then the whole is on the bottom, and that corresponds with 100, because if you had all of 100, that would be the whole thing. Okay, keywords to look for when you're identifying the parts of a percent problem. Okay, sometimes when you see the word is, that number that's associated with is going to represent the part. When you see the word of, that's typically going to represent the whole. All right, and then when you see the percent or the percent symbol, well, hopefully you can figure out that that's going to represent the percent. Okay, so let's look at a few examples. I'm going to try to go through this and show you two ways to solve it. I've been showing several of y'all this, and you can do this either way, whatever works best for you. Okay, so here we're just going to find the percent of a number. Real simple. Find 30% of 400. All right, so if we go back to what I just said as far as that ratio is concerned, all right, we're going to have, let me write, that would help. All right, I would have the percent over 100, and that's going to equal the part over the whole. Okay, so keyword here, I don't have the word is in the problem, but I do have the word of, and I do have the percent. Okay, so I know what the percent is, and I know what the whole is. So if I say 30% over 100 equals, I don't know what the part is, so I'm going to represent that with a P, and I know what the whole is of 400. Okay, so now I'm going to show you two ways. Now that we got it set up, I'm going to show you two ways to solve it. Okay, the first thing we've been doing in class, well, I've been doing both of these in class, but you can say, what do I multiply or divide 100 by to get 400? Well, if you said 4, you'd be right. Okay, 100 times 4 is 400. So if I multiply 30 times 4, that'll tell me what the part is. So 30 times 4 is 120. And guess what? Our part equals 120. Okay, so that's the first way. The second way you can do this is to cross multiply. Okay, once again, because we're talking about a proportion, this ratio here is equal to this ratio here. Okay, so that also means that if I multiply cross products, I multiply the denominator or the numerator out of one fraction with the denominator out of another, it's going to equal, the answer is going to equal the numerator and the denominator out of another one. Okay, so, and I've been telling you guys that if we have three of those and we're missing one, we can use that to solve a problem. So let's look at that real quick. So we set it up the same way. I got 30 over 100 equals some number, we'll let it represent P, over 400. Okay? If I cross multiply, I multiply 30 times 40 and 100 times P, and you might be thinking to yourself, how can I multiply 100 times P? I don't know what P is. Let me show you. All right, first let's do 30 times 400. 30 times 400, I'm just going to add all the zeros. All right, so I know I'm going to have 3 zeros. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, 100 times P is the same as 100P. Okay, I want to get this P by itself, so I need to divide by 100 to make that happen. Okay, these hundreds over here cancel out, because 100 divided by 100 is 1. 1 times P regardless of what P is, it's always going to be the same number, so it's just P. Okay, so our part is equal to, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel these out, 120. All right, same answer. Same answer. Easy, easy, easy. All right, let's look at another example. And in this case, we are going to find the percent if we're given the part and the whole. See, now if we go back to this one, we knew what the percent was. This time we're looking for the percent. Okay, so we set the problem up the same way. Let's get back to black. My percent over 100 is going to equal the part over the whole. Okay? Now, in this problem, it says the school principal spent $2,000 to buy some new computer equipment. Of this money, okay, right there is the key word of this money, referring back to the 2,000. So guess what our whole is? It's 2,000. 120 was used to buy some new keyboards. Okay, what percent of the money was spent on keyboards? So it says what percent, so that tells you right there that we're looking for the percent. So this number, even though I don't see an is anywhere in here, has got to be the part. Okay, so we rewrite this. We got, I'm going to use, let's just use X for the percent. All right, I don't know what the percent is. I know the part is 120, and I know the whole is 2,000. Okay, so let's go back to what we did in the first example. I multiply 100 times something to get 2,000. Well, guess what? I multiply it times 20. So that means if I multiply this X, whatever it is, by 20, I'll get 120. Okay, well maybe I don't know what I multiply 20 by to get 120. So to find out what this answer is, I can divide 120 by 20, and that'll give me what X is. That tells me what I multiplied 20 by to get 120. So 20 will go into 12. It won't. So I have to go into the whole 120. All right, it'll go 6 times. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract, I get 0. So guess what? X equals 6. So in this case, 6%, okay, of 2,000 is 6. Okay, 6% of 2,000 is 6. All right, let's look at another example here real quick. Oh, wait, let me back up. Let's look at this with, I don't know if I'm going to be able to erase it now. No, it's not going to erase, so let's do this. X, erase all that. Okay, let's do it the other way with the cross multiplication. Okay, so same thing, percent over 100 equals the part over the whole. Okay, so if I know 2,000 is the whole, I know 120 is the part, I'm looking for the percent, we're going to call the percent X. Part is 120, whole is 2,000. I cross multiply. Okay, let me change that color just so you can see it. I cross multiply and I cross multiply. So 2,000 times X is 2,000X equals 100 times 120. Well, I add up my zeros. I got 3 zeros, and then 12 times 1 is 12. All right, I have to divide by 2,000, and I divide by 2,000. That cancels, leaves me just the X, and then I have 12,000 divided by 2,000. All these zeros cancel out. I got 12 divided by 2. It's 6. It's the exact same answer. Okay, 6% of 2,000 is 120. All right, let's look at the next example. All right, so it says find the whole given the part and the percent. Okay, now in this case, we don't know what the whole is. We're looking for the part, and we're looking for the, we're given the part and we're given the percent. So let's look at the problem. It says 12 of the students in the school choir like to sing solos. These 12 students make up 24% of the choir. How many students are in the choir? All right, so let's set the problem up. Yeah, let's not use red. All right, let's use black. So I got percent over 100 equals the part over the whole. Okay, so I got my percent right there. Okay, these 12 students, okay, let's see, 12 of the students. Okay, so of the students, that's the key word right there. I don't know what the whole is because it's not telling me. 12 is the part. Okay, so I know the percent. I got 24 out of 100. I got the part, which is 12. Okay, and I don't know what the whole is, so I'm just going to let that be an x as well. I can say, what did I multiply 100 by to get 12, or x? I don't know what that is. I can say, what did I multiply or divide 24 by to get 12? And I can do that. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So if I divide 100 by 2, I can get x. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. So my whole is 50. All right, let's look at it cross multiplying. 24% over 100 equals 12 over x, 24x, right? Because I cross multiplied here, and I'm cross multiplying here. Okay, 24x equals 1,200. I want to divide by 24. 24, these cancel out. Okay, 1,200 divided by 24, guess what that is? It's 50. Okay, so my answer is going to be the exact same thing. You pick which one you like the best and you use that one. Okay, let's look at the next example. Well, it's not really an example. Now this is a different way. Okay, and hopefully I have enough time to do this. I hope so. But this triangle may be a way for you to remember how to do this. Okay, this is called a percent triangle. And it's divided up into 3 parts. You have the part, you have the whole, and you have the percent. Okay, typically in a problem like this, you're going to know one, or you're not going to know one of these, but you're going to know the other two, and you can use this information to solve any problem. Okay, so what you have, if you know the part and the whole, but you're looking for the percent, okay, you're going to divide the part by the whole. You're going to divide the part by the whole. Okay, if you know the part and the percent, you're going to divide the part by the percent in order to find the whole. And then finally, if you know the whole and the percent, you're going to multiply. Okay, you are going to multiply the whole by the percent, and that will give you the part. Now, the only thing about this, when you're dealing with this, if it says, 30%, you have to turn the percent into a decimal in order to make this work, and then flip it back into a, well, you don't flip it back, but you just turn it into a decimal. All right, so let's look at a quick one. All right, I got about 2.5 minutes. Let's see if we can make this happen. 38% of 50. Okay, so we're thinking about keywords. Well, I got my percent, so I know the percent. Of 50 means I know the whole. Okay, so I know the percent and I know the whole. That means I'm multiplying. So I can just go ahead and multiply. And once again, I got to turn this into a decimal. So I got to move the decimal 2 places to the left and turn it into a decimal. Remember, it's out of 100. 38 over 100. Right? That's a percent in fraction form. You learned that the other day. All right. So to turn this into a decimal, I divide 38 by 100. So that's how that works. All right. So in order to find the whole, I just multiply 0.38 times 50. 0 times 8, 0 times 3, 0 times 0. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. I got 2 decimal places. That's a plus. So my answer is going to have 2 decimal places. My answer is 19. Okay? My answer is 19. So that's how you use the percent triangle to solve. I'm going to erase all this. Okay, that's how you use the percent triangle to solve that kind of problem. All right, let's look at another one. This one over here. I only got about 30 seconds, so I'm just going to do this last one. This will be your homework problem here. 6 is 30% of. All right, 6 is, so that means I know the part. 30%, I know that, so I'm going to divide the part by the percent. Okay, divide the part, 6, by 30%, but as a decimal, 0.3. 0 if you want to. Move the decimal, move the decimal. There's your decimal. 30 will go into 60. 2 times 30 is 60. Subtract, bring down the 0. So 20. All right. That's it. answer this last question.